do that. And I'm going to mute everyone and then I'll unmute, see if I can unmute Evan. Oops. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so Evan, you should be able to unmute yourself, are you?
Yes, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Okay, can you yeah, like Lori said, I am always looking for an edge, and I think that sleeping, deep sleep is very important, and then also being able to compartmentalize your emotions. So if like some part of your mind, some part of your life like really stresses you out, if you could maybe put a lid on it or put it off to the side while you do something else, it's very important to have this skill, right? And I think the essential oils are pivotal for that, right? They can help you deal with things. Okay, so I will share a screen here. Oh wait, I'll have to manipulate some stuff first.
Otherwise, I have your presentation up. I can always.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Here, presenter view there. Okay. There, right? Can everyone see the screen? Okay, I will, and then we'll also be using chat a little bit just for a little bit of interaction. But so before we get started, I have just a couple of questions for you guys. How many people here are brand new to doTERRA? Is it anyone in this room totally brand new? Should I mean, is everyone already enrolled?
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, and then and you guys what cities are you guys in? Can you type in like what city you guys are at? See here. No, Studio City. So Craig is not enrolled?
No, his wife is. So yeah, they get
it. Okay. Studio City, Los Angeles, Pacific Grove, San Francisco, and SoCal. Okay. And then Santa Cruz. Perfect. Okay.
I'm in Aptos.
So mostly Bay Area, but Craig and your wife, you're in LA. Okay. So now okay, so some questions kind of about emotions, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at handling stress, right? It's like a number 1 would be you're very good at it. It's no problem at all to you. And then a number 10 would be something like if you're stressed out, it rules your life. You cannot go on any further. So on a 1 to 10, how good as you are at handling stress? Chris, Craig, and Beverly Ann. Okay, good. So Lori is pretty good at handling the stress. Tula needs some help with the stress. And then Lachelle is a little bit in the middle. And then, I mean, my hope for this class is to potentially equip you with the tools to lower your numbers down, right? If stress is a huge problem, we'd want to give you tools to bring like maybe an 8 to a 7 or 8 to a 6 or something like that. Or even to get a below a 5 would be the best, right? And then another question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at sleeping, right? Number 1 would be right when you hit the bed, right when you turn off the light, you're out. And then it just, maybe when your alarm goes off or you see light, then you wake up. And then number 10 would be you just can't sleep. Like some people just bounce around all night. And I've actually, every once in a while I have this, like once in a week I might have this. So my number might be something like a 5 or a 6, because I like to use essential oil products to go to sleep, right? Okay. All right, we have some pretty good sleepers. Everyone seems to be like below a 5 right now, so that's good. And then I have just one more question. Um, how often do emotions are your emotions difficult to handle? Like some people, when you get mad, you just can't stop being mad, right? It like takes over your life. And then some people, no matter how mad you are, then you're still happy, right? So, and I think that with me, for sure, with all the working out and things like that, that is one way that I deal with emotions and anger. So I'm usually not very angry after a full workout. Because I mean, we will talk a little bit about emotional oils and things like that too. Okay. Okay, so we'll go on now to a little bit of the sciencey things, right? So these were the questions on a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, and if you guys are all building the business, I could easily share these with you. I shared them with Lori. I just had to add a little bit to them. It started with this, and then I just added some slides, and you could take slides away, whatever you want to do. But everything is controlled by your hypothalamus, right? It's this small little red dot in the middle of your brain. It's not actually red, but it's just to highlight what it is. It's right there in the middle of your brain. A tiny little control tower that controls your hormones, right? So then when you're stressed out, it secretes a hormone called cortisol, right? And then that cortisol, when it's secreted for too long, then you're chronically stressed out, and then you have all these potential symptoms, right? And these are the compliant uh, compliant symptoms of stress that we can talk about. You can be irritable, you might have anxiety, and this is even like borderline not compliant, right? You can have headaches, you have poor sleep. But some more serious things could be like autoimmune disorders. I can't even think. Let's see, stress. But I mean, from not sleeping a long time, you could even potentially die from not sleeping for long enough, right? So, and then blood pressure issues like that, diabetes, things like that, right, can happen from um, prolonged stress that affects sleep, and then you have issues, right? So 70% of these problems with sleeping are psychophysiological. So they come from stress and emotions. So if we could handle the stress and emotions, then we would be able to balance this. What's that called? Like a teeter totter of cortisol and melatonin, right? So when you have cortisol high, your melatonin is low, right? And then if you can lower your cortisol, then you can secrete melatonin. And melatonin makes you be able to go to sleep. If you can never secrete the melatonin, then you will have issues sleeping. But okay, so I usually, before I even start any of this, I ask if anyone in here is a nurse or a doctor or in the medical field. Is anyone like, yes? Okay, so and then hopefully you won't. I mean, but and then so what we're gonna go over, if you're a nurse or in the medical field, is very basic compared to the level of information that you know. It's just enough to have us understand what the oils can do for our body, right? So I have to. I mean, I can't even get really sciencey about it, but I can. Even if I could, I wouldn't want to, just for the purpose of getting through the material so that we can understand really how to use the oils, how to equip our body with the oils to bring those high numbers down a little bit. Okay, so some things we start to do for deep sleep is a nighttime regimen, right? So this is a very strong one that I do when I have. So I'm always mixing around what oils I have and what I don't have. But when I do have the Serenity and Kabiba, which I almost always do, right? I take both of those, and then sometimes I switch that to make like recently it's been adaptive and copaiba, those two, right? But does anyone here have a nighttime regimen? Maybe you could raise your hand or put a Y in the chat box, or even tell us your nighttime regimen, like right before you go to sleep. What couple essential oils or essential oil products do you take right before you go to sleep to ensure you have a deeper sleep? So for me, I do. I think we might talk about a little bit later about using oils in tea, stuff like that. But I mean, if I wanted to go full on, right? If I had like a full on, like a fast moving, stressful day, especially near the end of the night, then I would do the Serenity and Copaiba internally, plus like a lavender or petitgreen tea. Plus, I would diffuse something. I would try to hit it from all facets, aromatically, topically, internally, to try to calm my nerves down. But yes, Lori does Serenity and Copaiba, and recently I ran out of Serenity, so I've been doing Adaptive and Copaiba, and it works. It works really, really good, right? And then the Yarrow Palm promotes cellular health and supports your brain and skin health, just like Yarrow Palm does on your skin. So the capsules, if I want to like focus on my skin, which skin is definitely an issue when, I mean, there are a lot of different situations where skin will be an issue, but for me, it's an issue because of the jiu-jitsu. So my skin gets rubbed all the time. But if you're in the sun too much, or if you're worried about your skin at all, Yarrow Palm capsules will be a really good way that you can protect your skin, right? Internally, and then putting the Yarrow Palm on your face externally. That'd be good. Okay, so here are a potential nighttime regimen, a potential alternative to a nighttime regimen. And then we have this hibernation roller where you put 20 drops of each of these in a roller bottle, and then you fill up the rest of the roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil, and then you rub it like on the bottoms of your feet because all the different pulse points are on the bottom of your feet, and then especially on your big toe, maybe on your heart. Most of the time, what my wife and I always say is wherever you feel the stress is where you topically want to put the hibernation roller or any stress oils, right? So if you feel stress on your heart or in your stomach or maybe on the back of your neck, those are all places where you could put the hibernation roller. And then you inhale and take some deep breaths, and then it can help you reset and calm down. Because many times when I can't sleep, it is because of something psychophysiological. Just some thoughts are rolling around in your brain, and you might be able to reset and get out of like the thinking mode with the hibernation. So frankincense, good to increase blood flow, but also let's see. So it's good for increasing blood flow, also good for reducing inflammation. So if it's to get into your bloodstream, it can help your body calm down. And then the vetiver is they say a natural tranquilizer, but it's my wife's favorite oil to go to sleep. It comes from the root of grass. So any oils that come from roots or trees are really, really grounding. So it's almost like really, really thick, like sap-like. And I think like the sap-like oils will help you calm down. Bergamot is it's a citrus oil, and although it's a citrus oil, it's the only citrus oil that helps to like calm your agitation and stress. So it's what kind of makes Earl Grey tea Earl Grey. So it has a hint of bergamot in it. So you could put bergamot in a mug with some honey and hot water at the end of the night to help you calm down, but also to smell it is really good. And then Roman chamomile, I don't even really have to talk about that, but chamomile tea is like synonymous with sleep. So you put Roman chamomile to smell it, all four of these together, and it will help you calm down. Okay, and then we have this very basic mood matrix. So it's before there was the emotional aromatherapy kit, there was this mood matrix, right? This 4. But even though there is the emotional aromatherapy kit, it's really good for you to just use these basic oils. So I even think that these, like throughout the day, these 4 oils are good to have, because I mean, I don't know what you guys are all doing, how work is going for you, but I feel like many people right now are in front of screens all day long, and this sitting, like I never used to sit this much. I used to fly around and take care of team, mostly in the Philippines, but like fly around and help people and then set up for face-to-face events. So I'm now sitting and feeling more stressed than normal, and I just have to take it here. So right next to my desk, I have these 4 oils. So if I'm doing like an early morning call and be, I want to be invigorated and happy um, and focused, I could go to the right here, where I mean I would increase my passion, and then I do either citrus bliss or elevation, one of those, because of the citrus oils in it, right? And then elevation has a lot of other things in it, melissa oil and stuff like that, right? And then um, so that's if I need to increase my passion. But then if I feel like stressed, like you just have no peace. So I feel like towards the end of the night, I go towards the left side for the serenity and balance, right? But then if you have no peace and you're exhausted, then of course you go left and up, and then that points you directly to serenity, which the main component in the serenity is lavender oil. So that of course is like really good for sleep. And then one thing is, me and my wife have taught a lot of classes, and if ever someone comes to us and says, oh, I need to really understand how to order. My daughter keeps stealing my oils, right? And we always know it's always serenity, right? If you ever have a teenage daughter that steals your oils, she's always going to steal serenity, just because something about it like really calms you down and helps calm down emotions of a rebellious teenager. So that's an off-label use of the serenity oil, right? It helps calm people down. And then the balance is, I mean, some people like one thing that I've heard was Dr. Hill's favorite oils to go to sleep. I think it's sandalwood and balance. I don't know if it's cedarwood and balance. It's one of the woody oils and balance, but balance has the wood oils in it. And then it's just like a good oil for a cologne. So it has a really mellow, balancing scent to it. So this mood matrix, I think, would be really good for you to get all 4 of these oils, and then help manage your mood at all times. And then there's an adaptive collection. So we go back. Let's see if I got to open this screen so I can go back. But here, right? We look at the mood matrix, right? We have 4 oils, right? We have the citrus oils. We have and then on the other side, we have the calming oils. So the citrus oils perk you up and get you ready and make you focused. The calming oils can calm you down, right? So sometimes if you're not feeling in a good mood, you may have something on the right or something on the left. But if you go here to the adaptive, that is like, goes right in the middle, takes place of all 4. So if you have 4, if you wanted to buy 4, you buy all 4 of these. If you buy just one, you buy just the adaptive, and it goes right in the middle to replace the whole mood matrix, right? So internally, you would take the adaptive oils if you wanted to sleep at night. But I have a couple people that we work with, friends that take the adaptive oil when they go to work, because the people at work stress them out. So then they need to be calm at work. The one friend that I'm thinking of works at TSA, and he has to now wear a double mask, like it's almost like a triple mask. That he has to wear one mask and then one on top of it, and then the face shield, right? Because he's in contact with people all day long. So he's triple masking up, and then people don't want to wear masks. So this whole stressful situation. So he has to take adaptive before he goes to work. And then he puts the adaptive oil in his hand here, and then you rub it on the mask, right? I don't suggest ever putting the oil directly on the mask. But some people do, right? I hear people talking about it, but dropping the oil on the mask sometimes is way too strong, and then makes you not be able to use a mask. So I drop it on my hands, I rub my hands together, I put the mask on, and then I inhale through the mask, and then the scent gets kind of into the mask, right? And so that's the oil. That's the straight oil. But then the adaptive roller blend is just really easy to have on the go, right? So I suggest really getting all of them, because I would take the adaptive right before I go to sleep, and then the adaptive roller. For me, the stressful type situation would be going to the jiu-jitsu and fighting a room full of black belts. So that would be when I use that. And then the adaptive I also have at home, and I like that it's in the bottle just in case you want to drop it like in a bathtub, like a warm bath. And so I could drop it in there. And you can't do that with the roller bottle, of course, right? So you put that, and or if you wanted to put it on your pillow or something like that, you can drop it straight on your pillow, right? So it's good for focusing for work, but also calming down when you get home. So you would use it both at work and at home. Right? And then here are some possible diffuser blends, right? So like for example, we have this adaptive and wild orange, right? So it's calming and invigorating. But I like the adaptive has wild orange on it, in it, so it kind of pulls out the tone of the wild orange. And then you go with the balance, adaptive and balance and wild orange in it, so it's calming and invigorating there, right? And then that's kind of like the theme here. Everything is like you go on both sides of the spectrum and you calm down. But the one that even this forgive, balance, and breathe, right? You open your airways, and it helps that which is normally invigorating, but then it's also forgive and balance, right? So forgive is one of the emotional oils that we're talking about. It's woody. It smells like grass. I, I, I personally, I always know that if I did something wrong, if I walk into my house at like 7 p.m. and the whole house smells like forgive, and I feel like my wife is trying to forgive me for something, and then I have to run through my mind, what did I do? What did I do? Oh my God. Because sometimes you don't know, right? But I mean, the emotional aromatherapy oils would be perfect um, for anyone married that wants their wife to forgive them, right? You just rub that on them a little bit. So even like a secret pill for a husband, you have the forgive, maybe the blend, and then if your wife is mad at you, you kind of just rub it on her when she's not looking, right? And that will have her forgive you a bit. Or you diffuse it, of course. Okay, so all of this, right? Sorry, let me go back one slide, right? We went through a lot of different oils. So now we have a potential to put all the oils, some of the oils we went together into an LRP box, right? At the end of the month, there's all these benefits of having anything on LRP. So I'm going to show you a potential one, but with the loyalty rewards program, if you make your loyalty rewards order before the 15th of the month, you get extra free oils. Every month it's different, right? And then on a special month, if you get, we have 200 PV, 200 PV months where you get another oil free. Like in December, which is always the biggest month, you get a free frankincense with a 200 PV LRP order. So if you do a 200 PV LRP order in December before the 15th, you get the free oil of the month, plus you get free frankincense, plus of course you get the oils, and you get either 10 to 30% back on your LRP. So there's a ton of benefit. If you're ever going to order anything ever, it should always be on the LRP. Even if you're going to cancel it the next month, it should always be on LRP, because that's where you get points back. Okay, so now that brings me to a possible LRP box, right? We have the whole adaptive kit, and that's your whole mood matrix in one, right? You could also replace that adaptive collection with the 4 oils, and I think it comes somewhere near this, but a little more, right? And then the wild orange, the citrus oil, which I always want to put some citrus oil in. If I'm all not fully stocked up, I always want to have some citrus oil, because in every glass of water I drink, I always drink a citrus oil. And then this is only like cutting down to just one of the many options for a pill before you go to sleep. Copaiba, adaptive, serenity, all of them. If I'm only to pick one, I guess we would pick Copaiba, but really I want all 3, right? and then the balance to help you be calm, right? So you do all of this together comes out to 131 PV. That's over 125 PV. It comes out to 145 US dollars, and then you get the free oil of the month and all your free product credits. So this is the best. This is an example of their best possible deal. Okay, so that is the oils, right? So we talk about, so when this is a bit of our, it's like the let's see, the events, the order of events that normally happen, right? So you first, so there's a middle one here between use and share that I always think about, right? You first use the oils on yourself. And then as maybe it's between the second and third or first and second, as you're using the oils, you fall in love with the oils, right? So when you're falling in love with the oils, if I fall in love with sleep oils and I fall in love with taking a supplement before I ever go to sleep, and I love that feeling, I don't just want the one, I love the oil, so I want to get all of them. So it's like you start to become an oil collector because you love the oils. So somewhere in this period, in this like these events, you fall in love with the oils, right? But if you fall in love with the oils and then you have someone who says, oh my God, I had the worst possible sleep. I had the worst sleep last night. I don't even know what happened. I don't know if did I eat chocolate before I went to sleep? Did I drink coffee just a little too late? Maybe my cutoff should come back from 12. Maybe I should stop at 11 or maybe I should stop coffee. I don't know. It's like, well, I have this thing, right? I mean, would you be open to something natural? And you have something. So if you have something, of course, you're going to share it with a friend, right? So then that starts to happen, right? And then one thing I heard my wife say yesterday, it's like, well, okay, so once you start sharing the oils with them, you kind of teach them how to use the oils just by sharing, right? So when you give them the adaptive blend, you're going to show them, you're going to teach them how to use it. You're going to show them how to put it in their hands. You're going to show them where to rub it. You're going to show them when to use it, right? So you start to teach it. All these events, they come naturally, right? So when they come naturally, it's like, it almost like sharing and other people ordering comes naturally. So why not understand the part behind that where you start to get paid for this natural occurrence of events, right? So that's what this is about, explaining very briefly about the business of doTERRA. So there are 3 ways that you can share in doTERRA, right? So you get to that point where you use and share and you teach others. 3 ways you can share, right? One is you can refer people, right? So Lori has classes all the time. You tell your people, oh, you should go talk to Lori. If you want oils, you should talk to Lori. She knows everything about the oils. If you have, I don't know, maybe you're having issues with your liver or issues with breathing or issues with your digestion, talk to Lori. She knows what to do. And then as you start bringing people to Lori or bringing people to these Zoom classes, maybe Lori would give you some, this is very common, right? Is that if you bring someone to a class and they sign up with a Family Essentials kit, I'll give you a free bottle of wild orange, right? And so that's one way you can start to earn with sharing, right? You refer your friends, they sign up, and then they give you oils in exchange. But then if you start to enroll your friends yourself, like instead of maybe you're trying to bring your friends to Lori and she's busy all the time and she's talking to her own people. So you're like, okay, forget it. I'm just going to learn how to enroll you myself. So this is the kit I got started with. I think it's a good kit. You should get started with it, right? And then you can get paid some extra income, some slight extra income from doing that. And then the third is if you get a bunch of people on your team, like say maybe this script is flipped and you have 3 Loris on your team, right? Then it's like, then we're starting to hit these high ranks. And it's like, then you could either whatever you're doing. I mean, we had a lot of people in the medical field. Maybe you could supplement. Maybe you're a doctor making, I don't even know numbers, right? But maybe you supplement an extra 1,000 and that feels good. Or maybe you can get to a place where you can replace that whole doctor income. And that's when you build a team that's doing this. And this happens just from doing these continuing education classes. right? So those are 3 ways to share. And here are possible, like 3 ways to share, but 3 more kind of ways that the sharing helps, right? Number 1 is you could pay for your product. Number 2, I forget what number 2 is. Okay, so number 1, you pay for your product. Number 2, you supplement your income. Number 3, you replace your income. So that's the 3. Number 1 is just make enough money to pay for your essential oil addiction, right? When you become addicted to the oils. Number 2 is you're a doctor making your doctor money, and then you just want enough money to pay for your whatever, your BMW or whatever car you have, right? And then number 3 is you don't even want to be a doctor anymore. You want to stay at home. You want to live on Zoom the way we do, right? Then you could replace your income. Okay, so to pay for your product, the buy-in is, of course, your 100 PV LRP. That's underlying under all of these. And then about 3 to 5 hours of week working, 3 to 5 hours per week working on the business, right? And we do business opportunity classes where we can explain what that means. But 3 to 5 hours about working on the business. And then you personally enroll a few people a month, like 1 to 2 people a month, right? So when you start to do that, you start to make something we call a fast start bonus. You start to make bonuses, right? And then you hit this rank of elite, you make about $300 a month. This is average in 2016. Then as you start to get people underneath you who are doing this, right? And you're still like helping, you're still just doing 3 to 5 hours a week, right? Instead of hitting for elite, you have 3,000 overall volume. You get to 5,000 of overall volume. And you have 2 people strategically placed underneath you who are also helping you build the business. They're also working, right? So they have 2,000 each, right? You have your 5,000 overall, 2,000 each of your legs, right? And then that made an average of 742 per month. And that took an average of 6 months to make that. And then silver is up here with 3 elites, right? And that just could potentially pay for your product. If you're using $2,000 of product a month, that's ridiculous. I don't think that you would do that, but it would pay for maybe, I don't know, maybe a car or something. So that is a beginning part of supplementing your income, right? So then we go higher, and then these are goals like you work a little bit harder, you enroll like 1 builder per month. These are just average numbers. And you're enrolling like maybe 4 people a month. But people can get to these ranks without enrolling 5 people a month. You're enrolling less, but you have people underneath you who are enrolling. So this is like overall team enrollments of like over 4 people a month, right? And then you start to hit these numbers, right? So I go back and it's like, I kind of look at these numbers like it almost like doubles almost at each rank, right? So it goes 300 moves to 700. So I'm in my head, I go 500, 1,000, 2,000 about, right? And then you go up here. So the gold rank, it goes 4,000 and then about 10,000 and then about 16 to 20,000 when you go up here, right? And then we go here a little bit more of a, this is like kind of being all in, replacing your income. And this is where some people are, me and my wife are, this is all we do, right? And we work about this 15 to 30 hours per week. And we have builders enrolled and we work on these numbers, right? And you see again, it's like this number and it doubles to this number and then it like triples to this number, right? And what just a very basic thing you need to think about is like, whatever profession you have, if somehow your boss were to talk to you and say, hey, you know what, you're doing a really, really good job. I want to give you a promotion. I'm going to double it. No, actually, no, you're doing a really good, I'm going to triple. Whatever you're making, I'm going to triple it, right? Which doesn't really ever happen in a single promotion, right? A single addition of 1 person to 1 more higher rank doesn't ever really. So that's what I think the benefit of this as a business is that it can help you multiply income quickly by multiplying the amount of help and goodness that you're sharing into the world, right? By helping other people, you end up helping yourself. So that's what's possible with doTERRA's business. And then how do we do this, right? The very basic I did there. So this is a 5-step process. It's really a 4-step process because the end doesn't really work, right? It's not even a move, right? So number one, you give your friend a sample of something. So you kind of carry samples all the time. I mean, you're not carrying samples. You're carrying oils for you to use that you can give to them if they need it, right? So you give your friend a sample of something that's a very big deal for them, right? So if they can't sleep, if they have headaches, if they have digestive issues, and any digestive issue, stress, pain, anything like that, you have something and you give it to them, and then you tell them 3 cool things about essential oils, right? The 3 cool things are they work faster, they're cheaper, they're safer, right? That's it, really basic, right? And then you show them the 3 ways to use oils: aromatically, topically, internally, right? That's it, right? Watch here. Here, that's aromatic. Here, I put it on my neck, topical. Here, I drank it, internal. Boom. And you just taught a class. And then you show them, here's the kits to get started, the end. And then you're now building the business because you just got an enrollment, right? Congratulations. And then we'll make Facebook posts about you because you're so awesome because you did these 4 things, right? And that's kind of all there is to building the business, right? So it's not a very hard business. It's not, it is a hard business, right? But it's not, it's a very simple business. You do this very basic things, and then you teach people how to do these things, and you teach people how to teach people. That's all there is to that, right? And then, okay, so here's examples of the samples you can carry, right? Like I love to carry these Deep Blue rub little packets because everyone loves Deep Blue. Like especially in my, because I know who I'm trying to talk to about oils. I'm trying to talk to men who are athletic, right? Basically, I'm talking to myself like 5 years ago, right? So if I handed that guy a Deep Blue packet, how would he like it? Would he fall in love? And maybe he would, right? So I can explain the Deep Blue packet and what's in the Deep Blue oils, but I don't really hand people toothpaste. But I hand people Deep Blue packets. I explain to them, and then when they fall in love, I just tell them, well, that's just. I mean, if we could sit down for a little bit, I could show you a little more, and then that's one way you could do it. And then you could have these little oil samples where you have this little keychain, and then usually with that keychain, I make it like I have oils, especially if I ever go on a trip. You have all the oils in the keychain, and then I just give those away to everyone, right? Because that's not a full oil bottle. That's maybe 10 to 15 drops, right? And for me, my experience, peppermint is the number one that everyone loves, right? I think that's why I love the Deep Blue. That's why you love Aroma Touch. That's why you love Breathe. It's like everyone loves peppermint. So I would just fill that all with peppermint. And then when you go, especially on planes, you hand people peppermint, or you use the peppermint right in front of them. And then, oh, would you want one? And then you hand it to them in exchange for their information, like Facebook, whatever, right? And then you have these little guides if you wanted, right? So these are all different tools to equip you in this very simple process. And that's it. This is a closing thing that when you share doTERRA products, you bring hope and wellness to people you love, your community, and ultimately the whole world, right? So selling doTERRA is about service, one drop at a time, one person at a time. We're serving the world with wellness solutions, right? That's what Greg Cook said. And and that's what we're doing, right? It's like yesterday I had an emotional call with a brand new person that we're building the oils with, and like he was talking about he doesn't even know what happened. It was like he was just like me, athletic, doing things. And he would go out on 10-mile runs once a week, like it's not even a thing, right? And then about 2 years ago, something happened. His body, it's like, boom, something happened to his body. He couldn't digest food anymore. He started to like lose weight rapidly. He went from, I think he went from like 190 down to like 130. boom, right? Which is like a problem. Many of us think, oh, that would be awesome to lose weight so fast, right? That'd be cool, right? But he was like, no muscle, just, he said putting clothes on was was heavy. He started to sweat just from, it's like, so in explaining this, he starts crying. It was like totally emotional situation. And he's saying, I don't know. He doesn't know if he's gonna live or die from this thing. But he's like, but then we like equipped him with all the essential oils that I truly believe that those oils will turn things around. We give him digestive oils. We got him on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, Zendocrine, all these things to Zendocrine capsules, all these things to help his digestion, and then Mito 2 Max for a little bit of extra energy. And I truly believe that in like 1 month, he will feel catastrophic change. And I believe that these oils can save his life. And that's the pay. Like, who cares about these numbers? Like, I go back to that screen with all the numbers. Like, this is what potential blue diamonds make every month, whatever, right? It's like the pay is that, right? Like the lives that you get to help through these oils, right? And I mean, if I could just have one situation like that once a month, that's a win to me, right? So, and then if you share a lot, then you get to have those. And I hope that all of you get to feel that feeling that I felt yesterday when I helped this guy. I can't tell you his name, but some guy. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Evan. That was wonderful. I learned some stuff, and also also just remembering how simple it is to share. And I have to say, I do use my keychain, and I have little samples in there. So I have my regular keychain for me, and then I have another keychain that I just carry around samples and be able to give them away. And it's been really easy because we're not, we don't see as many people necessarily right now. So when you do see someone, I do want to be able to give them something or send them. I send stuff in the mail lots of times too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to open it up. If anyone had any questions for Evan, feel free to ask.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Would you use Copaiba